안녕하세요. 12월의 첫 주말입니다. 귀한 시간에 2017 제주교육국제심포지엄에서 여러분들을 만나 뵙게 돼서 대단히 반갑습니다. 저는 이 토크쇼의 진행을 맡은 제주교육정책연구소의 장학사 고희숙입니다. 오늘 이 토크쇼는 여러분이 아시다시피 핀란드 교육자의 시각으로 본 제주교육이라는 주제로 70분 동안 여러분들과 함께하게 됩니다. 제주 지역에 있는 많은 선생님들께서는 지난 6월 12일부터 7월 21일까지 제주에 온 핀란드 선생님을 혹시 기억하실 겁니다. 오늘은 엔 나사카 선생님께서 40일 동안 제주 교육을 함께 동행하시면서 느끼셨던 여러 가지 이야기를 여러분들과 함께 풀어놓고 이야기를 나누면서 또 다른 제주 교육을 상상해보는 자리입니다. 그래서 실은 이 자리가 여기 참석하신 모든 분들이 주인공이십니다. 그래서 따라서 여러분 모두가 주인공이기 때문에 토크쇼가 진행되는 동안 여러 가지 질문이나 또는 의견이 있으시면 앞전 세션과 마찬가지로 문자를 통해서 의견을 주시면 마지막에 함께 공유하도록 하겠습니다. 토크쇼이긴 합니다만은 이제 핀란드에서 오신 분의 소감을 듣고 이야기를 나눠야 되는 자리인지라 약간의 공유하는 시간이 필요할 것 같습니다. 그래서 진행 방식은 엔 선생님의 발표를 아주 짧은 시간 동안 좀 듣고 그 다음 또 토크쇼를 진행해 보도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 발표자와 토론자로 참가하신 분들을 먼저 소개해 올리겠습니다. 반가운 박수로 맞아주시면 감사합니다. 먼저 약간의 소개가 필요할 것 같습니다. 오늘 발표자 및 이제 소감을 말씀해 주실 분이신데요. 핀란드에서 미술교육을 전공하시고 또 이제 미술 선생님으로 재직하고 계시다가 핀란드 국가교육위원회 위원으로 활동하셨고 교육과정 스페셜리스트로 일하시다가 올해 8월부터 반타시의 바리아 직업학교 교감 선생님으로 근무하고 계십니다. 엔 나사카 선생님 소개합니다. 엔 선생님. 예, 오늘 토론자로 함께 해주실 분들입니다. 서귀포시 교육지원청의 이재영 장학사님 소개해 올립니다. 예, 다음은 제주중앙여자고등학교 김영 선생님 소개합니다. 예, 다음은 흥산초등학교에 근무하십니다. 윤유미 선생님 소개합니다. 예, 오늘 우리의 세션이 토크쇼라고 해서 약간 부담스러웠습니다. 토크쇼라고 했을 때 그 뒤에 쇼가 좀 부담스러웠습니다. 우리가 하는 게 이제 쇼는 아닌데요. 이야기 한마당이라고 생각해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그럼 먼저 엔 선생님의 약간의 소감을 들을 텐데 제가 그 일을 추진했던 담당자로서 약간의 설명이 필요할 것 같습니다. 엔 선생님께서는 작년 2016 제주교육국제심포지엄의 교육과정 수업 평가 관련한 주제 발표자로 참석하셨습니다. 이제 발표를 이제 하셨는데 끝난 다음에 많은 선생님들의 좀 이런 의견이 있었습니다. 많지 않을 수도 있는데요. 이게 핀란드니까 그렇죠. 우리는 다르니까. 그래서 그 후에 좀 많은 고민들이 됐었고 엔 선생님과 그 후에 이야기를 주고받는 과정에서 우리가 무엇인가를 같이 해본다면 서로 함께 배울 수 있을 것이다 라는 데 생각이 좀 모아졌었습니다. 그럼 우리가 같이 무엇인가를 해보자. 해보면서 이야기를 구체적으로 나눈다면 실질적으로 와닿지 않겠는가. 그래서 프로젝트를 진행하게 됐습니다. 그래서 엔 선생님이 40일 동안 오셔서 직접 제주교육을 한번 경험해 보시고 그 과정에 우리가 함께 배울 수 있는 것들을 찾아보자. 이렇게 했고 오늘의 이 자리는 그 프로젝트의 일환이라고 보시면 되겠습니다. 예, 그러면 지난 6월에 제주에 오셔서 애월고등학교 미술과 학생들과 총 두 학급의 수업을 하셨는데요. 먼저 수업을 참관하셨고 직접 수업을 한 반에 3시간씩 수업을 하셨습니다. 예, 그러면 엔 선생님의 소감을 듣는 것으로 토크쇼를 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 엔 선생님 앞으로 모시겠습니다. 엔 선생님 앞으로.
안녕하세요. 저는 안내라사카입니다. It's so nice to be here again. It's my third time in Jeju, and I really appreciate how enthusiastic you are towards education. And my presentation deals with my experience in Evel High School, as Öysuk told you before. And I have to take this machine. I taught 2 courses in Evel High School, both courses for 3 hours, and I'm presenting this project Human Traces for you. And this was for 3 hours project. And I must say here that in Finland, when I was teaching this kind of project, it took me around 10 hours, so this was a quite short period of time for me. And I met the students 3 times, so 3 hours, the whole project. And the first meeting was 16th of June, and during the first hour we were exploring the reference pictures. I usually use a lot of reference material when I teach in Finland, and I was teaching according to Finnish curriculum here in Jeju. And I will show you these reference pictures, and then we had conversation with the students. And during this conversation, I asked questions about how they feel about art, where they see art, what are they thought about art. Because I think that we can build our own conception of art, and that I wanted to widen their minds towards art. And after that, I gave them homework. Normally in Finland, when we did this kind of projects, they had time during the school day to go to look around and took pictures. But here I didn't have time, and that's why I decided that it could be a homework. And I asked them to take a walk around their home or school environment and look at something specific traces without human, but some traces that human has left around. And I also asked them to look things at home, what kind of traces they could see there, and could they consider these traces as artwork. And then I said that they had to take around 15 to 20 pictures, and then make a presentation and send the presentations to me. And I gave my email address because in Finland we usually use a kind of digital learning environment, but they hadn't that kind of environment at the school, so I created a specific email address for this project. And I got all the presentations. And then here you see the reference pictures. And normally when I choose the reference material, I want to have very different kind of material so that the students can see what are the possibilities, what kind of thinking they might follow. And the first picture you see here, it's a cave painting from southern France around 28,000 years ago. So I started from a very, very old trace. And you can see there is human hand, and then it's a kind of graffiti art. And then I showed from 1960s a line made by walking, environmental piece of art by Richard Long, and then some graffiti art, Banksy, and then from Instagram. And in Finland we use a lot of Instagram when we are making art. Students are having their own Instagram accounts, and they are collecting different kind of pictures on Instagram, and it's a very good way to very good environment in school, working in school. And then I showed some pictures from my own students' portfolios, and these are traces. Someone has undressed and left behind things. Some students' little sister had undressed here, and this is the student herself. And then teenager has left the room, and the teenager, my student, said that she didn't know she's leaving this kind of traces before she took the picture of it. And then there is tanned skin and pale skin, and also scars on the knee. Some students wanted to tell about that. The other liked to tan herself, and the other one didn't. So she took that kind of picture. And then one student is a ballet dancer, and she's having these kind of things on her legs. So traces there. And then we also learned composition and shot sizes by doing this exercise. And I told them these 4 examples. And when I got students' presentations, they didn't use these close-up shot sizes, and I asked them to use them more. And some students they took more pictures, and they had these close-up sizes also. Okay, and then about the assessment. Here in South Korea, you are talking a lot about assessment, and for me as a Finnish teacher and vice principal, we don't talk about assessments so much, because we think it's always continuous. It's about learning process. Everything is about learning. So sometimes I think that why to think about the final product, because the process, the journey, that is important. Then then the teacher can ask the students to make corrections, and the process, that's why it's very, very important. And when I give tasks and exercises to my students, I always tell them what is the teacher's assessment based on, and the teacher must always base this on the criteria which is found on the curriculum. And I tell this in the beginning of the process, what I am going to assess. And then I have questions for the students' self-assessment, so that the students during the learning process, they are questioning themselves, what did I learn? What I am doing, what I have to do, can I do something better? So the process is always the important thing, and we learn to assess ourselves, and we learn to learn better, so that we could be good learners. And when you are a good learner, you can do whatever you want. And here is one example of students' portfolio. I asked all the students to send their portfolios to me, and the portfolio should, the self-assessment should be inside the portfolio. But I only got 4 portfolios. And I think because it was a new thing for the EVEL students, that's why they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it independently. We didn't have time for that during the process when I was in EVEL. So I asked that they could do it afterward, and I think that's why they didn't do it, because it was not easy. But I have very, very strong feeling if I had more time, everybody should have done it. I'm sure about it. And in Finland, this kind of learning process, it's quite old thing. We have done it a long time. I could say 20 years or something like that. And these parts the EVEL student wrote to me. And for example, here the student is saying, I have never had this experience before, so I was very upset at first. However, I enjoyed doing my homework very much. And this is very, very important. You have to do things that you motivate the students so much that they enjoy doing the tasks. They enjoy and they want to learn. And when they want to learn, they don't think about assessment or results or whatever. They want to do best. So the teacher has to create such an atmosphere, such a flow that they are working hard. Okay, then I had something on my mind about this. Okay, hope the questions are arising this. And then some development ideas about this project when I'm thinking Finnish art education and South Korean art education. In Finland, self-expression is very important. I think it's sometimes even too important. And in South Korea, these students in EVEL, they had brilliant techniques. They could do whatever because the techniques was so good. And they are learning a lot about different kind of techniques. But in Finland, we express ourselves and we learn the techniques by doing things. And sometimes there are certain kind of weaknesses in our system. So I still would like to have this self-expression thing, but I would take this technical approach from South Korea also and mix them. And then from Finland, the idea of learning process and continuous assessment, so that the teacher is a kind of facilitator. And self-assessment, learning conversations, different kind of learning conversations in different steps of the work, and making a portfolio. And the idea that assessment is for learning. And then I was so amazed about this responsibility of these EVEL students, because in Finland, for example, when we start to work, I have to organize the students all the time and ask them, do that, do that, do that, and they are quite slow. And in the end of each lesson in Finland, I have to ask, clean your table, clean your brushes, put your papers there. But in EVEL, everything just happened. And I didn't realize that the teacher was saying anything. I think they are very quick in doing that kind of things. And I think that here in South Korea, you are much quicker than in Finland. In Finland we are slow, and very often we are in the middle of something. So that thing I really would like to take from your system. And then how? I would suggest teacher exchange programs. You have them already, but more with us. And then student exchange programs. Your students come to Finland, our students come here, and then teaching together via the internet courses, so that teachers are teaching together, but Korean teacher is here in Korea, and Finnish teacher is in Finland, and we are having a digital learning environment that we are using together. And online courses. So there are many kinds of opportunities in this modern world. And then I have this table, and I think there is one question about this, so I won't say anything about this right now. We will talk about it a little later. 감사합니다.
예, 감사합니다. 이제 토크쇼를 시작해 보도록 하겠습니다. 그러면 참석해 주실 분들 위로 올라와 주시면 감사합니다. 예, 또 이렇게 앉으니까 새롭네요. 예, 엔스임 발표를 잘 들었는데요. 아까 사우스 코리아라고 말씀을 하셨는데, 이제 어쨌든, 우리나라 중에서도 제주에서, 애월고에서 직접 학생들과 이제 만났던 경험을 짧게 말씀해 주셨습니다. 처음에는 이제 이것 없이 그냥 처음부터 이렇게 얘기하는 시간으로 들어갈까 하다가 그 부분에 대한 공유가 좀 되면 좀 더 얘기가 자연스러울 것 같다라는 생각에서 진행하게 되었습니다. 그러면 엔스님이 애월고에서의 그 경험과 소감을 나눠주셨는데요. 같은 이제 고등학교, 그러니까 이제 우리 김영 선생님께서는 직업학교라든가 이제 특성화 고등학교는 아닌 일반계 고등학교에 계신데 중앙여고에 근무하십니다. 들으시면서 어떤 생각이 들으셨는지. 그리고 선생님 잠깐 우리가 이제 얘기를 좀 더 원활하게 하기 위해서 한국어와 영어를 자유롭게 사용하도록 하겠습니다. 그래서 참고해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 예, 김영 선생님께 마이크를 넘깁니다.
Thank you for your presentation. And feedback seems quite important in your assessment. So I have two questions. First, as Dr. Lee said before, to take out students something from the students and also to facilitate students learning, what do you think the primary focus of the teacher's feedback should be at the high school level? Are there any different approaches for the different school levels? And question two, I'll do it later.
Later, yes.
Okay.
I think one question at a time. Teachers' feedback should always be based on the curriculum, the things they were learning, and the feedback must always based on, as I told on my example, the curriculum and the specific task, so that there is marked those things that should be learned. But of course there could be something extra things, for example students' behavior or something like that. Then teachers should give feedback about that also. So it depends.
I thought about more like some strategies or approaches for your, effective feedback or more, proper feedback. So you're just following your curriculum,
yes,
right? Oh, okay.
Yes.
And then my second question is, what do you think the most important support for the teachers to do it properly? Because you have experience in your Finnish context. So in the Korean context, what would be the most important support for the teachers?
Okay. In Finland, we think that teachers has these skills already. So we don't give any specific advice for giving feedback because they are teachers. We assume they really have these kind of talents, and they should have. So it's inside that you are a teacher, you can give feedback. So if you can't, I think you really should have that kind of education for teachers.
You're right, but my focus was more like physical environment, about the teachers' working conditions.
Okay.
Like in Finland and in Korea.
Yes, if I think when I was teaching, I had two kinds of conversations with my students. I had one-to-one conversations so that I was together with the student. That is very important. and then there must be some kind of quiet room or something like that, so that you really can meet the students, and you can tell things that could be very delicate things. And also these group feedback situations, then it could be a normal classroom. But yes, there could be a empty classroom or some empty place in school environment, something like that. But there should be some quiet place.
You take out some time for that sessions?
Yes. It's very common in Finland that for these one-to-one conversations we have specific times, and normally when I was teaching art, students need time, they are working, they don't need the teacher there all the time. Then I just made timetables for my students, and I had a kind of specific, they just were working, and then one came to see me and we had this conversation. So it was very, I think it was very easy. But of course, if you are teaching mathematics, English, then you should arrange another kind of thing. Or maybe they could write something, and then when the others are writing something, then teacher is having these conversations with the students.
Okay.
You just find a place and situation.
Okay, thank you. And writing feedback is quite common in Finland?
Yes, they are doing many kinds of activities. If they are writing an essay, then they are writing an essay. It doesn't fall somewhere. Or if they are doing a presentation, for example, at school, that could be a group activity. Then these groups are working and teacher can have these conversations. Because teacher, you shouldn't always be there. You just know your group and you know when it's possible to have these kind of conversations.
Thank you.
예, 이제 평가에서 가장 중요하게 여기는 이제 피드백과 관련된 내용을 이제 김영 선생님께서 말씀해 주셨는데요. 저도 얼마 전에 이제 핀란드를 좀 다녀왔는데 아주 중요하게 여기는 부분이 교사와 학생 간의 또는 교사와 교사 간의 대화. 아까 이제 앤 선생님 이제 컨버세이션 이렇게 말씀하셨는데 다이알로그, 컨버세이션, 대화하면서 학생의 성장을 지원하는 부분이 아주 많이 돋보였던 것 같습니다. 우리 중등학교뿐만 아니라 초등학교에서도 평가에 관련돼서 요새 고민이 상당히 많으시거든요. 윤유미 선생님께 한번 마이크를 넘겨보겠습니다.
I've watched Finnish teachers teaching video clips on YouTube, and I found there is no competition in Finland education system. There are no tests to score students on their academic performance, but rather than an assessment, including self-assessment, to support students and to provide feedback on their works. In some elementary schools in Jeju, they are also trying to teach students without standard tests. But so here is my question. Is there any possibility that academic performance will decrease when a school does not force students to study for standard tests but focus on feedback and students' self-assessment?
Okay, this is very interesting question, because what are academic skills? We must describe what are these. And I think that we must focus on these skills. So can these standardized tests measure skills? Because I think they can measure specific knowledge. But when you have skill, you always must apply your knowledge. And that's why I think these kind of tests, are they possible? And in Finland we don't have these multiple choice tests, because it's like a bingo, I think. And in Finland we have had this basic school system. We call it comprehensive school. It's school for all. All our children go to that comprehensive school. It's public school system, and we have had it nearly 50 years, since early 1970s. And during that era, we have not had any tests, national tests. So if we had these very good results on PISA in 2006 and we didn't have these kind of tests, so it is possible.
예, 그 학업 성취도와 어떤 이제 그 과정 중심 평가와 관련된 고민을 좀 나눠주셨던 것 같습니다. 예, 다음은 우리 이재영 장학사님께 마이크를 좀 드려볼까 하는데요. 이재영 장학사님은 이제 그 한 10주 동안 70일 동안 핀란드 파견 연수를 다녀오셨습니다. 실제 좀 느낌이 다르실 것도 같아요. 어떤 선생님 애월고의 말씀을 듣고 궁금하신 사항이나 혹시 소감이나 말씀해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
Thank you, Ms. Go. And then I have the chance to visit Finland with Ms. Go here and another supervisor, Ms. Han over there. And then last September and October, we stayed there in the Jyväskylä city in Finland. And also we visited some many schools and educational institutes. And we met many principals, teachers, and students also. And after that, I felt two different things. The first one is in Finland, they are focusing on the individual students in education. And the second one is the teachers have lots of autonomy and the responsibility for education, and also the Finnish society shows teachers the big trust and the respect also. And okay, anyway, and this is my question: is in Korea, some high school students, including our high school students too, and they want to major in art in college. But they have some difficulties. They have to. They are taking the private lessons for entering university. And for that, they have to pay the high cost and the much extra time out of the schools. And I think I don't think that they can go on the university just with the high school curriculums. So my question is, how do you support those students in Finland for the higher education in the general upper secondary school?
So are you asking that if students are taking, if they are in a high school which is specialized in art, and then they are applying to university, to art university or to other universities? Art university. Okay, it is not easy to apply to get into art university, and it's very good because there is not very many possibilities to work as an artist. It is not an easy way to earn a living, and that's why it's good. It is not easy to get in. And in Finland, we are having very few high schools that are specialized in art, and those schools are very good. And if you are in this art high school, it is quite not easy, but you have very good possibilities to get into art university. But if you are in a general high school, you can't get in art university. You must take extra courses. And normally in Finland, when you are taking extra courses in art, we call them hobbies. And normally, some children, they are, for example, playing violin or cello or piano, or they are painting or drawing, and they are hobbies, and then they really love doing that. And that's why, because they love doing that, they are very good on it, and then they can apply to art universities. So normally it's a kind of, they really want, and that's why they are very good. But it's not easy. Did I answer your question?
예, 애월고에서 이제 직접 이제 수업을 하실 때 제가 이제 쭉 참관을 했거든요. 그래서 저는 제주도에 핀란드 선생님이 오셔서 수업을 하는 이 장면을 어떻게 생각해야 될까 여러 생각이 많이 들었었습니다. 그래서 오늘 이제 대화 세 분의 함께하는 대화의 내용이 우리 애월고의 미술 수업을 통해서 그 어떤 교육에서의 평가, 수업 이런 부분들을 좀 더 실질적으로 나눌 수 있기를 바랬는데 약간 시간이 좀 모자란 것 같습니다. 더 깊은 얘기를 하기에는. 그래서 좀 더 구체적으로 들어가 볼까 합니다. 앤쌤께서는 이제 애월고등학교에 수업을 하신 것 이외에도 40일 동안 제주에 머무시면서 많은 제주도의 학교를 가셨습니다. 가셔서 수업도 참관하셨고 선생님들과 토론도 하셨고 그러셨거든요. 그런 경험을 통해서 좀 더 제주교육으로 들어가 볼까 합니다. 그래서 앤쌤께 부탁을 드렸습니다. 애월고 수업 이외에 제주 교육에 대해서 본 느낌을 좀 말씀해 주십시오. 그렇게 이제 사전에 부탁을 좀 드렸거든요. 잠깐 소감을 좀 듣고 또 얘기를 나눠보도록 하겠습니다.
I have loud voice, but not so loud. So without microphone, it would be a little bit challenging. Okay, something about these 40 days in Jeju education. First of all, it was a very, very rich experience to visit many schools and museums and many, many places here in Jeju. This is a wonderful, beautiful island, and I really loved visiting it. And I must say, I love Korean food. And when I went back to Finland, I missed Korean cuisine. I think these are selfies from elementary school in some part of Jeju. I'm sorry I can't remember the school name, but these were so joyful and happy faces of these children that I really wanted to use this picture for this presentation. That school, it was a small elementary school, and I felt that the children were very happy there. And this was the first time that I heard about this gardening thing, and I was told that in elementary school curriculum there is such a thing that gardening, growing plants. And I think it's a very good learning project, because when they are growing these plants, they are taking responsibility of something, and that is related to culture, and that is related to eating healthy food and knowing different kind of plants. There are very many things inside these kind of projects. In Finland, we don't have anything like this. Maybe because of our long winter, it's half a year, and our summer is very short. We can't grow anything at school. But we could have something like this, and we really should learn about this. And this picture is from Evel High School, and the first thing I noticed that the classrooms are quite crowded. In Finland, we are having a lot of space, Maybe because there is not very many people in Finland, and we need a lot of space. We need our own place and place for our things and everything. So it was not easy for me as a teacher, because I couldn't have as big papers as I wanted, because they had so tiny little space for themselves. And then also quite often I was thinking during these 40 days that the students, they have to learn, I think, too much. There are very many things they have to learn, and very many separate things. And all these things, they are not always related to each other. And I was thinking that maybe something should be left away. And not focusing on these details. And I said quite often last summer here that less is often more when it comes to education. And then I was visiting boys' middle school, and this was also a new thing. As yesterday somebody said that I was so surprised about these boys and girls schools, because in Finland we hadn't had these after 1960s. And in my opinion, it is not something related to pedagogy. Maybe it's a traditional thing, but this boys' school, it was quite noisy, or sometimes very noisy. And when I was visiting girls' school, it was very silent. Then also when I was visiting quite many English lessons, I heard that the method that was used, that the students, they were reading texts together in a loud voice. In Finland, we don't use that kind of method, because we think that when you are repeating something in a loud voice, then you don't have to think about what you are saying. And we prefer pair works. For example, in English lessons, our students are working a lot in pairs. So then they both have to be active. You can be passive in a very big group. It's easy to be in a very big group. And then I visited the foreign language center in Jeju. I don't remember the name, but maybe you know the place. And I heard that they are having cooking classes for foreigners in that center. And I think that is a very good way to learn language, because when you are cooking and you are learning about the culture, and at the same time you are learning the language, then they are related to each other, and I could call that a language integrated learning method. So projects and things, when you have to be active, they are a very good way to learn things. And then this is from elementary school. I think these were 9-year-old children learning English. And also here I noticed that the students, they were very close each other. In Finland we use the whole space. And then the students, they had made playing cards. They were learning to count. Teacher was asking how many, and the students, they were showing these cards, and they were singing a song. They had many kind of things they were doing, and they were very happy, and they were interested in that thing they were doing. But when teacher was asking them how many in English, they could answer in Korean, or even they could do like that. And that is different in Finland. In Finland, you have to answer in full sentences. You have to use the language. And the teacher is only speaking English in English lesson. So I think that is the difference. But the material and the method, it's quite the same. Singing, playing, doing, being active learner. It's the same. But then something was different in the end. Okay, then I was so happy seeing this kind of activity. I think it's very common to you because I saw it in every school. But in Finland, our students, they don't clean, and I think they don't have very good attitude. And it's very important. It is not just cleaning. It is taking responsibility of one's own environment, and that is very important. And also this gardening thing, taking care of the animals. I saw these kind of projects in many elementary schools, and they are related to problem-solving skills. And you here in South Korea, you have had very good results on that. And Finland, we have not had so good results, but we are best in Europe. So, but I think we should think about having these kind of projects. It's so important to take the responsibility. Okay, 감사합니다.
예, 처음에 70분이라고 말씀하셨을 때, 와, 시간이 너무 길다, 이렇게 생각했는데, 진행하다 보니까 더 많은 말씀을 나누고 싶은데, 시간이 많지는 않은 것 같습니다. 제주에서의 40일의 경험을 말씀해 주셨는데요. 초등학교, 중학교, 고등학교, 또 이렇게 다니셨고, 또 기관으로 저희들이 이제 같이 갔던 곳은 다문화 교육센터와 제주교육박물관을 갔었습니다. 그래서 제주 교육이라는 것이 이제 그 지역의 역사와 또 여러 가지 사회 문화적인 것과 관련이 있기 때문에 그 함께 이해를 하셔야 얘기를 하실 수 있을 것 같아서 그런 곳을 같이 가셨고, 아까 요리 체험은 이제 다문화 교육센터에 있는 그 내용이라고 보시면 되겠습니다. 예, 이번에는 흥산초등학교를 다녀오셨거든요. 엔쌤이 그때 이제 흥산초등학교에 가서 이제 수업도 보시고 여러 가지 선생님들 거기 그날 이제 다른 학교에서도 선생님들이 많이 오시는 학교 행사에 엔 선생님을 가서 모시고 가서 같이 선생님들과 얘기를 나눴었습니다. 그래서 엔 선생님 소감을 들으니까 여러 가지 떠오르는 것이 있으실 것 같아요. 윤유미 선생님 어떤 생각이 드셨는지요?
Yes. Ms. Raskar visited many places in Jeju, especially observing teachers and students in classrooms ranging from elementary through high school. This would put you in a great position in notice the main difference from the Finnish education system, especially what would you consider is the biggest weakness and the strength with the Jeju educational mindset?
Okay, this is a very important question, but not easy, because answering in a very, very strict way it is not possible. There are very many good things and, of course, weaknesses, and it's easier to start with weaknesses. So I think the assessment system is the biggest weakness. You think about assessment, and you should think about learning. And also, you are having too much things. Less is more. And then you should trust more on teachers and control less. I think these are the main things that should be considered in a different way. And strength. You are having very good attitude. And you are very good learners, and I really believe that you can change these things, and you are in a good way. So you just need the focus, and you just have the courage to leave things away. You can't put new things inside these old things. You just really have to get rid of something.
김양 선생님. 예.
As you mentioned before, Korean students learn too much and too detailed and separated things rather than following their own interests. I totally agree with you. But in Finland, the students also they want to go to a certain universities or have a certain goal. So they might feel the social pressure like Korean students, not larger than Korean students, but still they feel some kind of social pressure, right?
I think we don't have that kind of social pressure because the culture is very different. And in Finland, for example, if you are a good electrician or plumber, you can have more salary than teachers. And sometimes our students are thinking about money when they are focusing what they would like to study. And that's why, because we are having different kind of options, it's not so big issue. And in Finland, our university students, they are older than in other countries. Of course, our government doesn't like it, but we are so individualistic culture that we think that we can choose ourselves. And it's very common in Finland that after high school, students, they want to have extra year, they want to work, and they want to think about what I would like to be. So the pressure is not so, it's a different thing.
And also the university entrance is quite flexible?
Yeah, it is different. Nowadays, the matriculation examination, which is the only national test in our system, and it is in the end of high school. You can get extra points when you are applying to university, but universities are having their own entrance tests. But the system, it can be changing. Nowadays we are having conversations, and I'm afraid in the future the matriculation examination might be university entrance examination. And
so you're changing into that?
Yes, and I don't like that thing, because I think the system is now very good.
Thank you.
예, 감사합니다. 많은 말씀들을 우리 제주의 선생님들께서 하시고 싶으실 것 같아요. 그거는 이제 문자로 지금 많이 보내고 계시죠? 예. 저기, 이정영 장사님 조금만 기다려주세요. 예. 이 제주를 돌아보신 40일간의 것에 대한 이야기는 무궁무진할 것 같습니다. 그런데 잠깐 제가 진행상 주제를 좀 바꿔볼까 합니다. 핀란드와 제주는 상당히 많이 다르죠. 여러 가지 지리적인 여건 또는 사회, 경제적인, 정치적인 상황 상당히 많이 다르죠. 그렇지만 저는 닮은 점이 많다고 생각합니다. 그 첫 번째는 제주와 핀란드는 먼저 아주 교사들이 우수합니다. 정말 훌륭하신 선생님들이 계시고, 또 사회에서 공동체를 아주 중요하게 여기고, 또 지속가능한 사회를 만들어가기 위해서 교육을 아주 중요하게 여기는 점이 같거든요. 그러면 제주와 핀란드의 교육에 대해서 우리가 지금까지 약간 좀 모자라지만 나눠봤습니다. 그러면 더 나은 제주 교육을 위해서, 아까 이제 윤유미 선생님도 강점과 약점에 대한 언급을 좀 하셨는데요. 우리가 어떤 이야기들을 할 수 있을까를 좀 얘기할 시간이 된 것 같아요. 그래서 이재영 장학사님께 먼저 제가 한번 넘겨볼까 합니다. 앤 선생님과 대화를 나누시면서 더 나은 제주 교육을 위한 또는 우리 교육을 위한 어떤 말씀을 좀 나눠보고 싶으신지요?
Okay, and I think your teachers did a good job in the Finnish education, and I mean, thanks to the good teachers, the children have the excellent academic achievements and good personalities. So I want to know, and it's my question: what is a teacher, and who is a teacher in the Finland for Finnish people?
Okay, so you mean that what the teacher means to us? Okay, teacher has always been a very respected profession in Finland, and in our system we have always trust on teachers and believe that they can educate the children. And nowadays we think that the teacher is a kind of facilitator, and teacher facilitates learning. and teacher has to support and teacher has to motivate, but also teacher has the role of educator in Finland. And these are very strong things, we believe. So facilitator would be the best word for modern teacher in Finland.
And I surprised because the older teachers in Finland are sharing the philosophy or the pedagogical pedagogy in education. Even teachers and even the principals. So how do you make that kind of a system for sharing all the information between the teachers and the educators?
So you mean that all the teachers and new teachers, how we share information together?
Right.
Yes. I think the teacher education system is very important in that, because if you want to study to be a teacher in Finland, you must have teacher training periods in normal schools with normal teachers, and there is a huge amount of training in these normal schools, and this is a very good way to give all the information and knowledge to new teachers. So when a teacher has his or her master degree, all the teachers, they must have master degree, then he or she is already a teacher. There is that experience because of these training programs. And also these training programs, they include, they must monitor different kind of lessons at schools, so they really know what the teacher profession is.
If they're not qualified for that teacher job, if they're assessed, and then they cannot be a teacher after that training program?
No, teachers, they must be qualified.
I mean, during that training program, you can reject, or you're not good enough.
It doesn't happen.
Okay, all right.
예, 5년에 걸친 교사 교육 과정, 그리고 그 중에서 1년을 실습으로 할애하고 있는 핀란드 교육 시스템에서의 그 교사의 전문성, 그리고 사회에서 교사에 대한 믿음과 어떤 존경, 이거는 정말 놀라웠습니다. 교사에 대한 얘기를 그 이재영 장사님께서 해주셨고요. 윤유미 선생님, 어떤 질문 혹시 있으신지요?
You told about the teacher training program. Specifically, I have a question. So, what lesson preparation and teaching techniques should teachers focus on the most in planning the teaching plan? What kind of or in setting curriculum? What kind of points the students have to?
So when teachers are planning their lessons, of course, yes, lessons always must be based on the curriculum. When teachers are planning their lessons, they must follow the curriculum. That's really something they should do. And what kind of methodology they use? Normally we think that we must have versatile methods, so that we are having different kind of activities for different kind of learners. So we always must think that the students, they are learning in a different way. You can't teach just following one line. You must think, if the learner doesn't learn something via this, you should try that one. And then maybe that one, and maybe that one. You must have many kinds of tools when you are teaching. And when you are planning the lessons, you always must think about these things, that I try this and that and that. And of course, we are doing the same thing as I saw you were doing these playing cards and using different kind of video material, using different kind of internet pages and many kinds of activities, so that it is motivating and there are many ways to learn things in the multiple channels. So if you only read texts, that's only one channel for learning. But for example, when you are learning languages, you must write, listen, read, have a talk, and many ways to learn. Then it's effective.
Also, one more question. So, what is the most important thing which can make students an active learner?
Yes, this is not easy because a teacher must think these multiple ways to teach and multiple ways to have different kind of materials. But I think a very good way is to think about learning projects, so that you don't just learn separate things lesson after lesson, but you have projects. And these projects, they could be 1 week project, 2 weeks project, different kind of projects. And during these projects, you should think that the teacher is not the active one. A teacher is always telling them, do that, do that. But the students, they are active and they have to think about what to do. And then, for example, project first step would be that the students find the information about the thing they are learning. And then there would be some kind of learning conversation when they have the material. And after that, they could make a presentation. And then the teacher is there guiding, supporting, and asking questions and going around. And then they look at the presentations. And then after that, there could be, for example, these one-to-one conversations or a group conversation, so that there are always these questions going on. But the student must find the answers. The teacher is not telling everything. So I think the best situation is that the teacher is on the corner and thinking, what should I do? Because they know what to do, and am I important anymore?
예, 엔스님과 우리 그 세 분의 참가하신 분들이 말씀 나눴는데요. 저 시간이 너무 모자란 것 같아요. 진행자로서 좀 안타까움이 있고, 엔 선생님, 우리 이제 세 분의 선생님이 계속 엔 선생님께 질문을 하고, 엔 선생님께서 이제 답변을 해주시는 형식이었는데, 이제 제가 좀, 궁금한 건, 엔 선생님께서 40일 동안 제주교육을 돌아보시면서, 아까 소감을 말씀해 주셨는데, 우리 세 분 선생님께 혹시 질문하고 싶은 것은 없으신지요? Do you have a question?
My questions to Korean teachers. What do you think about these changes? Are they possible?
Well, hopefully they'll be possible if we have long-term project, and we'll go toward that. So I think it's possible, and I hope.
I believe in you.
예, 엔 선생님의 질문에 대해서 이재영 장사님. 됐습니다. 윤 선생님 뭐 하실 말씀 없으신지요? 예.
Anyway, the educational system is different from Finland, but I feel the Korean teachers very eager to change a bit, and also the societies also want that kind of things. So I think it will change anyway in some time. So I think it is very good way.
예, 이장 박사님.
Yeah, it's different answers, I think. I ask my the principals in school and some the policymakers in the Jeju POE, please believe the teachers in school. They are experts. So do not ask the much more paperwork. And then we can have the right and strong education we can build in Jeju Island, I think. Okay.
예, 권한을 주시고 문서 업무를 줄여야 되는 책임 또한 우리 이장 박사님과 저도 같이 있다는 거. 예, 시간이 어느새 이제 많이 지났습니다. 되도록 우리 함께하기 위해서 참가하신 분들의 그 질문을 듣는 시간을 많이 확보해 보려고 제가 중간중간 이제 많이 이제 좀 커트시키기도 하고 이렇게 왔습니다만은 시간이 그래도 조금밖에 안 남았습니다. 그래도 참가하신 분들은 어떤 생각을 갖고 계신지 한번 들어볼까 합니다. 예, 질문 들어온 거 있으면 좀 보여주시겠습니까? 예, 읽어보겠습니다. 핀란드에서는 미술 등 예체능 교육이 학교 수업으로 거의 소화되고 진학도 예체능 분야로 가능한지요? 지금 예, 한국에서는 학교의 학원 등에서 레슨을 받아야 예술학교나 대학에 진학할 수 있는 상황이라 부모의 예술교육 부담이 큽니다. 핀란드에서는 어떠한지요? 아까 질문 속에 나왔던 것 같은데 좀 비슷해서 넘어가도 되겠습니까? 예. 다음 질문으로 죄송합니다. 다음 질문으로 넘어가겠습니다. 예, 자기평가 문항을 보고 놀랐습니다. 지금까지 잘못하고 있었다는 생각이 듭니다. 자기평가 문항은 셀프 어세스먼트죠. 문항은 각 주제별로 제작되나요? 어떤 과정을 거쳐 제작되며 어떻게 활용되나요?
Yes, the teacher can make the self-assessment questions for the students, and it's always based on the curriculum and always based on the tasks they are doing. And each teacher can decide what kind of questions there is. And it is not complicated. And I think it's a different thing about, we think the assessment in a different way. In our system, it is very important that the students are doing these self-assessments, and it is strictly set in our curriculum. And it has been so very long time. So these questions that were there, I made them. I have used that kind of questions. And teachers, they are always reflecting what they were teaching, what the students were doing, so what kind of questions there should be. But the main focus is on that what did I learn? Did I learn something today? What was it? So that we want to teach that the students, they are always asking that kind of questions from themselves, and it's inside of me, so that every day when I leave the office, when I'm working as a vice principal, I ask, what did I do today? Did I manage to solve some problems, or what was it? So we reflect all the time.
예, 감사합니다. 시간을 절약하기 위해서 다음 질문 보여주십시오. 한국 학교에서 다양한 형태의 수업 장학 및 지도 협의회가 이루어집니다. 핀란드에서는 교사 대상 교수법에 대한 피드백도 이루어지나요? 교직원 협의회는 어떤 주제, 어떤 형태로 이루어지는지요? 그러면 밑에 두 가지 질문으로 했으면 좋을 것 같습니다. 교사 대상 교수법에 대한 피드백도 이루어지나요? 교직원 협의회는 어떤 주제, 어떤 형태로 이루어지는지요? 앤스입니다. 약간 의미 전달이 좀 잘 안 될 거는 같습니다만. 네.
Yes, this is a very important question, and this is a very different thing here in South Korea than in Finland. In Finland, our teachers, they are not assessed. The pedagogy is not questioned. Teacher has total autonomy to teach as they want, and me as a vice principal, I'm responsible for pedagogy in my school. I can't say anything about our teachers' pedagogy, even if I'm responsible for it. But I give new ideas. I have different kind of conversations with. We are having pedagogical teams in my school, so we are having conversations. What it should be, what is the focus on the new curriculum, or something like that, and what we want to do next year, how we want to organize our teaching next year. But it is never something that we assess. No, it's. We have the look on the future, not in the back.
You expressed it's a conversation, but do you have some kind of professional development for the teachers in service?
It is not a program. We can have, and the education provider can decide. And for example, now in my school, we are organizing our pedagogical themes in another way, and we are having pedagogical tutors in every team. So I work with these tutors, and then we are planning things how we are doing.
In Finland, the teachers have a lot of autonomy and kind of responsibility because they have to teach the same students for several years. So I think they have a lot of autonomy and also responsibility for the students.
Yeah, yes, they have.
Yeah, and so what kind of program do you have in the 3 days in service?
Sorry, can you ask? It was the microphone.
really?
Yeah.
So all the teachers in Finland have to have the in-service training for 3 days a year. So, yeah.
How much teacher training do you ask?
What kind of a program
for teachers who are already at school?
You serve for the teachers?
We don't have programs, but they can educate themselves more. But we, as for example, as education provider, we can't say to teacher that you should have more education. Teacher can decide. So we think that when they are teachers, they are professionals, and they have the autonomy deciding what kind of education they need.
예, 더 많은 얘기를 나누고 싶은 마음이 제가 먼저 듭니다. 이제 많은 얘기를 엔 선생님과 그리고 여기 계신 선생님들과 더 많은 얘기를 나누고 싶습니다만은 제가 여기 진행을 맡으니까 제일 처음 중요한 역할이 시간을 잘 지키십시오. 이런 당부를 제가 누누이 받아서 정말 아쉽습니다만은 시간을 마무리해야 될 것 같습니다. 많은 의견을 주신 부분들은 다시 엔 선생님과 또 이야기를 나눠서 피드백할 수 있는 방안을 또 찾아보도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 핀란드 교육자의 시각으로 바라본 제주교육과 관련돼서 70분 동안 이야기를 나눠봤습니다. 예, 함께해 주신 분들께 감사한 말씀 전하면서 멀리 제주에서 제주를 사랑하는 마음으로 와주신 엔 나사카 선생님, 그리고 세 분의 선생님, 그리고 함께해 주신 모든 분들 감사합니다. 큰 박수로 마무리할까 합니다. 예, 인사.
예, 수고 많으셨습니다.
고맙습니다.
예.